This is Josephine Electric from the band Phantom Electric Ghost, and today we're going to talk about some of our latest tracks on a project we call Tongues into Triangles. And as always, it's always about sex. And tongues into triangles is a fancy way of saying another fancy word, cunnilingus, which is oral sex on a female. And we're going to get deep into that sex type thing. And that starts with the first song, A-type sex thing. Now, we're into all kind of sadomasochist groove and sodomy and everything your mother told you not to do. So the A-type sex thing, just up front, is all about sodomy and, it's oral and anal sex. And it's a heavy, heavy groove that we did with our grandmother from Moog. We basically uh, did a bunch of overdubs and initially we came up with this interesting um, beat coming off the LFO, and then we used that LFO beat and then added a DFAM to it, which is the drummer for another mother, which we also had being modified by a Make Noise Maths module, which adds additional low frequency oscillators, or LFOs, is how you get rhythmic capability off analog machines. So we are a hardware DAW-less producer. We use our analog synths to create LFO and modulation loops instead of using clips within a DAW. And so everything is done at the hardware synths. We actually physically record them into a Zoom R24, and we use all the control surfaces in real time to adjust our beats and all of our analog loops, our clips. Everything's kind of recorded in a traditional kind of overdub fashion, and we kind of do it based on the feel. Everything's played uh, physically on the keyboard. Our keyboard of choice is the Juno GI, which we use, and then the grandmother's native keyboard. We also use alternative input through an Arturia Minibrute 2S and the Arturia BeatStep Pro. Plus, we use the sequencers on board, the Mother 32 and the DFAM, and we can also use the sequencer on the grandmother. So we do all these uh, DAW-less recordings, and we kind of put the feel into it. And everybody knows that my character has always been and always will be a dominatrix, sadomasochist, princess, queen. I'm an alpha dominant one, and in this sex scene, um, I am, A-type sex thing is just a real uh, celebration of anal sex, and you just stick it in all the way in, and that's what I'm into. So this song is not for the faint of heart. Um, so we do. It's interesting on YouTube. We got um, you know more views than we normally get, probably like 5 times the views on the video we made for it. So check out the YouTube video. It's A-type sex thing. We actually had a previous version called Type A sex thing, and we just like switching it up and changing it. We're actually going to add an S, which we're doing right now, to the song, and putting the A in quotes so that people kind of know that it's dope. um, so there are people that may not like what we're doing, and type of people that are not into it. They get hang-ups, and they get hung up on, and they get dissed, and they're not into getting into a tryst, not into getting into the power of a golden shower. But it's an A-type sex thing, so just put it in. Just put it in. Just put it in. Just put it in. Don't you want to put it in? Well, we go whatever which way we want to go, and that's the beauty of love. You go wherever you want to go, and we go for the high and the low. But we love the freedom that the synthesizers give us. And then we did this other song, this kind of real trash rock um, that we've been doing for a long time. It's Riot Grrrl punk aesthetic. It's R&R in the dark parking lot. And that one's about a girl who likes to get raved and fucked up the ass in the parking lot. And she likes to give it and get it and get it again. And and she's me, so don't get twisted. Um, So that song is just a power chord thing that we used on the Juno, and it's then the beats coming off the JDXI that we extend, and we think it's pretty cool. And it's got a lot of power, which is what we like to do. We like power up, powered up. So the other song we have here is a song that's called Alter Hot Effects, and that song is an interesting song. It had a beat that we put together using all of our analog gear to kind of create this really good funk, steady beat. Very, very steady. It's not flipping all over the place. And it's got another kind of interesting thing that we were talking about before. The wardrobe malfunction that Anna Hathaway had at at I think it was the Grammys, maybe the Grammys, but the Emmys, well, probably the Oscars. It's one of those, man. Um, and her nipples were erect in this white dress, and it's totally kind of, and we're totally enamored with that. And then we found this very beautiful woman on the net that had the same kind of effect, you know, a white dress with her nipples erect, kind of sticking out, and this is really drove us wild, and we wrote a song about it. We wrote two songs about it. This is like the second song about that. And maybe it's a fixation, a nipple fixation, but um, it's just what it is. And we really, you can't really explain it. We just got really enamored with it, and we wrote a song about that feeling. If you get focused, and when we get focused on all kinds of things in the dark corners of the street, as the grandparents Parsons would say, um, and we just liked it. And so, like when we get into something like that, and we get that kind of you know vibe, the same reason why we do something like Little Death, which is just another word for an orgasm. And so we get into that, and we just get like fixated on it, um, and that's what that's about. So all these songs have one thing in common. I'm a dominatrix alpha dominant one, giving and getting till dawn. And, just everything that we want to do in our little fantasy world. And so, it's whatever it's going to be. When they're going to switch a little to a couple of things going on, uh, it's interesting. There's big retro vibe going on where people want, analog synths with less features and more like, I would guess you would say that they are authentic, you know, uh, retrograde. So you go back and you give us a Prophet 5 and it doesn't have any digital effects, doesn't have a sequencer, doesn't have arpeggiator, doesn't have any kind of, to modern day things like you could multiple LFOs up the ass. uh, excuse my French, but there's this thing where people want like a traditional Prophet 5 or 10, or they really want a memory mode, and they don't want anything else but that. And then you got people that want to go forward with something like a UDO Super 6, or they want to be into, a quantum, um, get into the, field recording type of granular synthesis. And so they want to move away from subtractive, go into additive and granular and wavetable, um, and want to move forward. And then you got other people that want to move backward. I think the Moog one was kind of going forward with an analog synth, uh, but now we've got Dave Smith, the king of the polyphonic synth, that could save patches with the original Prophet 5, bringing the Prophet 5 back and then also bringing the Prophet 10, which never really got implemented in the single board mode because it used to heat up and not work. So they made the double version that had two keyboards on top of each other, which is I like to see, things on top of each other. And um, I would have liked to see the Prophet 10 come back that way, because then that gives you a lot of capability, but it's kind of a beast. Uh, that would be something cool just because it gives you that kind of Keith Emerson dual capability. Um, so, to each his own. I would have liked to see that, but it's cool to have a 10 voice synth that's got that vintage power. Um, and you've got the ability to do like multiple versions like this vintage knob. You can bring it back to a Prophet Rev 1, 2, 3, 4. But then you got to think about it, like it's like I'm a producer. I keep on leaning toward getting a workstation because I don't have one. I just have a Juno. It's long in the tooth, and I want to get that kind of RD piano. I want the ability to be able to work with other producers and have that workflow, have the the TR recording and the sequencer and the clips, and just but have the kind of modern convenience of having a board and then having the ability to have one thing these vintage synths don't have is on a Phantom you got 256 voices of polyphony. Um, you got 10 on a Prophet 10. It costs like $4,000. It's like $1,000 more than a Phantom. As a producer, you know, it's kind of like your producing capability gives you what you need. And you say, well, you could just do that on a DAW, but having that Phantom is, you're a keyboardist. You just don't want a PC. You want something you actually play. And so either a Phantom or Chord, Chronos, they're the type of workstations that you don't want to use. And I kind of want to build that in my production when I collaborate with other people. Now I can keep on using my R24, but if I want to get into the grid and somebody wants to get really anal about a part on my Phantom, I could actually get into it and do that level of production at the board instead of using my computer, and then I could send it on to a DAW and then really work with somebody. So, it turns that purpose, it's kind of a workhorse. It's going to do what you want. It's got analog filters. It's got all this capability. It's got the whole history of Roland. It can do the sampling. Maybe not as good as some samplers, but it can. And so you're like, okay, well, $3,500, $3,700, I can get a 70, uh, one keyboard, 76 key keyboard. They can do everything I need to do. If I got to go on the road, it's super reliable, not super heavy, and I could do the whole show from that thing. Um, but if I go and I get a Prophet 10, it's like I could get it on the road, but it's not going to do everything unless I'm going to do like a retro show. So I could do a full analog show with all my analog gear, with all my modular gear, and have that, the Prophet 10 be this thing. So then it's like, okay, do I want to sound like the Cure or Joy Division? Do I want to sound kind of like Genesis and be really retro and not do some of the cool modern stuff I could do? So, it's kind of a choice. But I can understand the vintage capability and the simple workflow kind of brings me back to my grandmother. Grandmother has a very simple workflow, very easy to get into synthesis. Some of these modern synths maybe have too many choices like the DAW. So I can see why on a Prophet 10 you can immediately get into sound design like you can on a grandmother or a matriarch, but it's polyphonic and you get really, really good sound um, that you probably can't even get on a Rev 2. Uh, so it's a really good choice. But then if you're talking about money, you look at the Polybrute. Now the Polybrute's got a simple workflow initially, but then it's got the modulation matrix that goes way beyond what the Prophet 10 can do. But it doesn't have the oscillators. It's kind of like the argument, like, okay, you got all this cool capability on a Polybrute. It's got a lot of nice, you know, power. But I would just argue this. It's like I have an Arturia Minibrute 2S. It's a really good synth, but it does the oscillators, truth be told, don't sound like my Moog oscillators. My Mother 32 oscillator, that one oscillator has more power than anything on the Arturia. The Arturia is kind of metallic. It's really good for modern atmospheric stuff. It can do really good percussion, but it can't match the kind of boom of the Moog. It can't match what my Mother 32 does. It can kind of be in the same space as the DFAM, but it can't match the 32. It can't match the grandmother. So I can understand in terms of like, okay, a polybrute against a Prophet 5 or Prophet 10. I'm going to say the Prophet 10 and 5 are going to win. And so then you got to make a choice. It's like, do I want to have this really powerful polyphonic analog synth, which I don't have? I've got kind of my Roland sounds, which mimic that, but not are exactly that. But they're very good. And for all the recording time I've had as the Ghost, I've been using that Roland as my poly synth, and I've done pretty good. But I would say the Prophet 10, like today I would buy a Prophet 10 because that's the mood I'm in. But the next day, if like I got to work with somebody, I want the Phantom, and so that's kind of my dilemma. Kind of like whether or not I'm gonna do oral or anal, but which one's best for the day, I don't know. It's kind of like the mood I'm in. um, so it has offended everybody in the world. So that's a good place to start. And I hope you get into all these new tracks. Again, they're going to be on a new project we're calling Tongues and the Triangles. We're waiting to do some remastering. Just another plug, we've been using the SoundCloud Dolby mastering tool. And initially all these tracks were using this tool called Beautiful Audio, which does an okay job. But before we put it out and get it in and really stick it into it, you get the sound come eruption. We kind of need that additional heft of the Dolby sound. Now that I offended them too, but it's a good thing if you got it. Become kind of out of your eardrums, kind of like Sir Nose used to talk about. So we're doing it to your eardrums. What do you think that meant? So again, if you want to be on the show and you're not totally offended, send us a voice memo, and also you can send a DM directly to Phantom Electric Ghost on Instagram or Phantom Electric Ghost on Facebook, or to our email, phantomelectricghost@gmail.com. Now, we don't charge. We tried to charge, and then people got all crazy. But we do ask, if you do like what we're doing, you can do a one-time donation through PayPal Me. It's on our SoundCloud. It's on our Spotify. Go to Phantom Electric Ghost and hit the COVID-19 button. You can send us a little money. You can also subscribe to our podcast, become a supporter for 99 cents a month. That's $12 a year minimum. That's recurring, so some people don't seem to like that. We've asked Anchor to do a one-time, and they still haven't figured that out. But you can also do $3.99, $9.99 per month if you're into it. We also do influence marketing through IntelliFluence, and you can get in touch with us on that. And we can also run campaigns and ads on our podcast. So if you're into that, you're not offended by our material, and you're kind of hip with it. We've done ad campaigns for CBD companies, for people selling supplements, and all kinds of interesting stuff. So check it out, and we'll talk to you later.
Joe and Jen, again, they're fucking your friend. They're into type sex. It kinda makes you rich. It kinda makes you know that peg is best. Confess, you're fucking in the fucking hurting him. You're sucking and spitting it out. Can't do it again with your best friend. They're in the fucking again. They're in the sucking it in. They're in the type sex. It kinda makes you rich. Kinda says you know to get pegged by peg is the best. Pegged by peg is the best. Jill and Jan, you know they're best friends. They're into fucking women and men coming on again. nipple dress. You confess, type A sex, it's the best. Fucking again, you just fuck your best friend. In the type A sex, I'm lying, I confess that you know being pegged by peg's the best. Being pegged by peg's the best. Knowing the fucking again into women, in men, in type A sex that kinda makes you rich, kinda makes you come overweight, nipple dress, fucking again. They took it to the hill against their will and came up and up till you didn't know all the hell influence all over Jill. Then the fucking again. They're into women and men. Type of sex. How you like to fetch. Kinda makes you confess. Peg's the best. Peg's the best. I took it to the hill. Against the will. Influence low for Jill. You're sucking it again and spit it out on 10. You know that's what you do with your best friend. Fucking again. You're their best friend. In the type of sex that kinda makes you rich. That you confess that peg is the best. And peg by peg, you confess. Get that influence over my white nipple dress. Fucking again. And sucking off your best friend. Influences on the wind and gets over your best friend. You don't know where he, she begin, but you know where you end. And fucking again. You fuck your best friend. Yes, up to the hill, against the will. It is took you 50, you'll be a pills and I'm fucking again. In the sucking off of women and men. You took it to the hill against her will. And then you do, you come all over Jill. In the fucking again. You're your best friend. Don't know where he, she ends and he, she begins. You know you want to come over your best friend. Took it to the hill against your will. Now the influence is over Jill. And how you do it now. In type A sex, kinda makes you rich, kinda makes you confess. Peg is the best. Type A sex, the kinda makes you confess, kinda makes you rich. Being pegged by peg's the best. Jill and Jen, again, they're fucking your friend. They're in the type of sex that kinda makes you rich, that kinda makes you know that peg is best. Confess, fucking in the fucking know get pegged by peg is the best. Pegged by peg is the best. Jill and Jan, you know they're the best friends. They're into fucking women and men. Coming on again. Get on your dress, the one that makes you red. And then in that white nipple dress, you confess. Type A says it's the best. Fucking again. You just fuck your best friend. In the type A sex, I'm lying to confess that you know I'm being pegged by peg's the best. Being pegged by peg's the best in order to fucking again into women and men in type A sex that kinda makes you rich, kinda makes you come over white nipple dress, fucking again. They took it to the hill against their will and came up and up till you know all the hell influence all over Jill. Cause I'm fucking again. They're into women and men. Type A sex, and you like you rich, can't make you confess. Peg's the best. Peg's the best. I took you to the hill against the will. Influence over Jill. You're sucking it again and you spit it out on 10. You know that's what you do with your best friend. They fucking again. You know they're best friend. In the type A sex, the kind that makes you rich, that you confess that peg is the best. And peg by peg is the confess. Get that influence over my white nipple dress. Fucking again. And sucking off your best friend. Influences on the wind and gets on your best friend. You don't know where she begin, but you know where you end. And fucking again. Yeah, fuck your best friend. Yeah, just get to the hill against the will. It is took 50, it'll be a pills and I'm fucking again. And the sucking off of women and men. You took it to the hill against her will. And now you do it, you come all over Jill. And the fucking again. You're your best friend. Don't know where he, she ends and he, she begins. You know you wanna come over your best friend. Took it to the hill against her will. Now the influence is over Jill. And out. And do it now. In type A sex, kinda makes you rich, kinda makes you confess. Peg is the best. Type A sex, the kinda makes you confess, kinda makes you rich. Being pegged by peg's the best.
Tied your head in knots.
and you can feel that love. But you still come along, feel that love. Shove the MDMA down my throat, make me feel that I got no hope. Know that you got enough for satin rope, because it's so dope. But like a wave line, girl, like a feel my lord. You're like a white girl car, I tore your heart in now. But the girl that you had and the girl you had now, girl that you did in the park, like a wave line. And you whine about your loss, but the girl you had now, you're tied up and not the girl you forgot. You took her in the parking lot, like a wave line. MDMA down my throat, the girl that you just almost choked. MDMA down my throat, the girl you pretend next week you don't know. I'm like a wave line, like the girl, the wine and the bell, 'cause she wouldn't treat you proud. She would scream out loud, but you didn't have it, now you don't have it down. Don't have me down on the ground. You're like a wave line. You're like the one about your loss, about the girl you had and the girl you had not. Now you know that the time forgot. MDMA down my throat, the girl you tie up with the satin rope. The MDMA down my throat, the girl you tied up with the satin rope. You're so dope. You're so dope. Shoot it in your arm and put it up your nose. Now you better take my pantyhose, and then I wrap it around your throat. Don't you think that's so dope? You're like a wave line. You're like a whine about your loss. I'm the girl you had on the head knot in that cheap parking lot. Girl that you had now is dead in the back of the parking lot. You got the girl you had and the girl you had now. Don't let you do with me, talk about loss, wave line. You like the one about your loss, but the girl that you had and you had now. Don't let you tie your heart up and knock at the satin rope, tied around your throat, and that's all dope. That's all dope. Wave line. Put the MDMA down your throat. Took that satin rope. Fixation blue and a bunch of mood. I just did it all your dude. And I'm getting ready to screw soon. Check the wave line that y'all did on you, dude. You're gonna go up and down on soon. Check the wave line I just did on you, dude. Now I'm gonna go up and down on soon. I'm so nude, I'm so rude. All this do you. I like the wave line. Girl that you had or you didn't have, in the dead dark parking lot. The girl that you had or you had not, deep in the dark parking lot. The girl that you had or you had not, deep in the parking lot. did all you do. Now I'm getting ready to do so. I did all you do. Now I'm getting ready to sue. I did all you do. Now I'm getting ready to miss Sue. Did all you do, and now I'm getting ready to miss Sue.